After the events of this past weekend, it's clear that today's Prime Minister's questions were intense. In this video, we'll delve into the Labour Party's response, specifically how Starmer faced off against the opposition. While we might disagree with the Conservatives, I must admit it was a strong performance. Additionally, we'll cover the latest news from across the country. But first, don't forget to click like and subscribe to join our growing community. Now, let's get into it. Reflecting on the weekend's happenings, we heard the Prime Minister discussing the upcoming legislation aimed at improving workers' rights. This proposed law, which he claims will be the most significant enhancement in a generation, aims to achieve two objectives: ensuring fundamental decency in the workplace and stimulating economic growth, something the previous government failed to do over the last 14 years. Mr. Speaker, when he speaks of workplace security, it seems there are two sets of rules, one for him and one for everyone else. While I'm aware that not all of his first 100 days have been smooth, he insists that he won't raise national insurance premiums or income tax. But is that commitment applicable to both employees and employers and national insurance contributions? As we know, we made clear decisions to keep taxes low for workers. What have we received in return? A weakened public sector and a shattered economy, with a £22 billion black hole to fill. Mr. Speaker, I doubt even Lord Ollie would believe that. I'm not here to discuss the budget directly, but I must reiterate my request for clarification on his promise to the British people. Does his pledge not to raise national insurance extend to both employees and employers? Now, shifting gears, let's look at the broader context. Many EU member states are taking drastic measures to address migration. Countries like France and Italy are implementing stronger regulations to enforce deportations, preparing for next week's EU summit in Brussels. Draft legal texts suggest a significant overhaul of return procedures, reflecting a shift in policy as leaders confront urgent issues, including the ongoing war in Ukraine. Austria and other right-wing EU members are pushing for these changes, which would allow police to detain undocumented immigrants who do not voluntarily return to their home countries. This move could reduce judicial oversight of immigration laws, a response to the rise of right-wing parties in national elections. However, support for these changes in the European Parliament hasn't materialized as anticipated, as Liberal and Green parties continue to hold significant influence. Chatham House has indicated that a shift to the right may change attitudes toward immigration, while leaders prepare to discuss these migration proposals later this week. In other news, a group of Christian schools plans to sue the government over the imposition of VAT on educational fees. Schools like Emmanuel in Derby and King's School in Yorkshire have consulted lawyers and are prepared to challenge the legality of this proposed tax, arguing that it would unfairly burden Christian institutions, potentially leading to their closure. This follows a coalition of education unions urging the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, to postpone the tax's implementation. Despite assurances from ministers to proceed, concerns about the potential impact on the UK's education system have surfaced. Parents like Stephen White have expressed their commitment to raising their children according to their convictions, which includes providing them with a distinctly Christian education. The opposition has reacted strongly to the Education Secretary's recent controversial tweet, which has sparked accusations of class conflict. Many believe that her remarks demean the education of students in independent schools. Bridget Phillipson, the opposition's Education Secretary, has faced backlash for her comments and has been urged to apologize. As we discussed today, the Education Secretary's remarks were not only ill-informed but also poorly timed. This is not reflective of all independent schools. What are your thoughts on this issue? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you for joining us, and take care. Goodbye.